Johnny London here once again. Today I've come to Stanstead Abbotts, or Stanstead St Margaret's really, that's the name of the train station. You could of course come by train, I came by car, and you can park in the roads around and about in the area if you're careful. Now I've got a relatively short walk for you today. It's a scorching hot day and I thought this would just about fit the bill. 6.8 miles, and that's going to take us down the River Lee through some nice countryside. We'll see a bit of the River Stort, we'll pass through the edge of Roydon I think, and then hopefully we'll end up back at our starting point. Indeed, this is the River Lee heading southwards, and that's where we're going. Now I know the area quite well. I have spent quite a bit of time here back in my boating days. I like this area, I like it a lot. If you need, there's a shop just back a ways there. I believe it's a co-op, and you can certainly get everything that you need. But well, me, I've come prepared, so let's get cracking. If you fancy, there's a pub over there that does a bit of nosh. I think it's a chain one, and I have eaten in there, but I can't for the life of me remember which one it is. But I think it was perfectly okay. It's good to be back on the river where I belong. Ducks and all. Oh, do you know what? I wouldn't mind one of those houses. Or one of those. Yes, one of the old ones preferably. That's the boatyard where I first started looking at boats. Tell you what, plenty of project boats in there. But never mind all that, let's hit the trail. He's got a nice mooring. Here, not so much, but it is practical. I believe the bridge I'm going under now is the 414, but don't quote me on that. I'm not too good with my bridges, but I do remember that this is a very popular spot for people to stop and make repairs to their boat, because of course if the weather's a bit inclement, well, you've practically got your own workshop under there, although a bit noisy and a bit gloomy. Another pub. Not been in there. Norfolk Broads type cruiser. Lifeboat. Rye House Power Station. Well, there's something of a mix of industrial and quaint English countryside going on here. You'll find if you walk the River Lee further down into town, this sort of thing sort of ebbs and flows. It goes a bit more rural and it goes a bit more sort of built up, and then it eventually arrives in London, of course. But I think this is about built up enough for me, and it's not going to be long before I can turn off into the English countryside proper. This is part of the River Lee, and I cross over. I've lakes to the left of me and the river is to my right. There you see, just as it was starting to get a tad industrial, moments later we're in the deepest, darkest, sunniest English countryside. This is Glenfaber Lake. Time for a break, I think. Well, I've got a lake view and a bit of shade, so I think it's time for a spot of lunch. Foil wrap for freshness and cheese and Marmite, of course. Cool, getting through that and all. Oh, I guess it's time to make a move. All paths lead to Rome, and there are many trails around here, but today I'm taking the right of these two. I shall be leaving the lakes in search of the canal, or more accurately, the River Stort. I do like these little bridges. And indeed, here we are at the river. I've cruised all around here in my own boat, of course. But sadly, it was before I got into vlogging. Well, I've said it before, but there's definitely something I like about this countryside. As soon as I come over sort of a little bit more eastward, it's notably that bit sweeter. I don't know what it is, I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe someone goes around and manicures all the trees or something, but there's definitely something afoot. I reflect on my wonderful afternoon out before making my way back to civilization. Of course, we're pretty much coming into the town now, Stanstead Abbotts, and this is just my sort of little round the back of the houses route. Should bring us in due course up to the main drag. Well, I'm pretty much down to the lukewarm backwash in my 2-litre bottle of water, so I thought I'd pop in there for an iced tea. The River Lee once again. Well, as you can see, I'm back to my starting point, except of course I'm not going home on the train. Mustn't do that because I've booked the car, so I'm going to walk back along and hopefully find the car. Well, so there's that walk, 6.8 miles I believe, and it certainly takes in a whole variety of things. Definitely one if you're a bit of a canal and narrowboat aficionado, and there's certainly plenty of good countryside, and you've got the sort of convenience of the high street there as well, so something for everybody. But if you do come, try and come when it's not quite such a hot day. See you next time.